the challenges of being a single parent. Today, I'm joined by Kirsty Franks, who is big in the game when it comes to estate agency marketing. She's responsible for the marketing of the property franchise group, which is your Martin & Co.'s, Northwoods and everyone at Belvoir and everyone else. And you're a single parent as well.
I am.
So you've got your own marketing agency. You're responsible for the marketing of one of the biggest firms in the UK. And you're a single parent. You all must be spinning some plates, babes.
There's some plate spinning for sure, for sure. So I have a 12-year-old little boy called Freddie. And yeah, his dad and I separated when he was 2. So whilst he's got a great relationship with his dad, I have been a single parent for the last 10 years.
What have been the main challenges in those times? I'm going to come on to opportunities in a second.
Guilt.
Guilt?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say time.
Well, it's one and the same for me.
How can it be?
Because I guess let's start with the whole premise around work-life balance. I think when you are a single parent with a highly pressurized career, running your own business, I don't believe in work-life balance. So I think I do what works for me and my family, and that does mean spinning an awful lot of plates. So the guilt comes in because of a lack of time. So have I missed some parents' evening? Yeah, sure. Have I missed some work events that are happening on an evening when I've got no childcare? Yeah, sure. And I have to try and make my peace with that. But it does bring an amount of guilt. I'll have weekends where my little boy is saying, "Mum, get off the laptop. Come on, let's go out and kick a ball." And equally, I might be stood on the side of a football pitch on the phone to a client talking about their marketing. So for me, the balance is not I work Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and therefore I get my work-life balance that way. I work when it works for me, and when I don't have my little boy, I tend to work 7 days a week. And when I do have him, I just have to do that juggle. But it is definitely give some guilt in terms of trying to be all things for all people all the time.
Has that guilt subsided over the years as you've realised that it's a case of working smarter at the work-life balance?
Yeah, and I think the guilt subsides because I know that I am instilling in my boy the values of having to work hard to get what you want in life. I come from a family of very hard workers, and I've had that work ethic instilled in me from a very young age. And whilst there may be times where I'm probably working a bit later on the laptop than he would like me to be, I'm also showing him that to get good things in life, to be successful, to get the nice things around you, you work hard and you graft. And the guilt subsides because I'm proud of that ethic that I'm instilling in him.
I mean, I must admit, I hardly saw my father when I was growing up because we had a family butcher's business, and you're in at 3 in the morning and you come home at 6 at night. So, but again, I was taught that the lesson of hard work.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to anyone watching this who is suffering from that guilt? Because you could be just as guilty being double parents, couldn't you?
Oh, of course you can. And, I don't think my situation is exceptional. I don't think it's different for single mums or single dads or families. Juggling work and having a family is challenging. It's difficult. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices. I think what I would say is you do have to set yourself some boundaries. And you also have to be kind to yourself. So I'm doing the very best that I can do with the time that I've got to be a good mum and have a successful career. So sometimes I have to just pause and remind myself that I'm doing the very best that I can.
Do you have a support network around you, like close girlfriends or family that you can bounce ideas off? Because quite often we're all very good at beating ourselves up,
yeah.
Especially, and for someone to say, "Hey, come on, you're doing a cracking job there, babe."
Yeah, no, I have an incredible support group around me. So I'm very close to my mum and my sister. They don't live locally to me, so
Oh.
they live a little bit further away. So babysitting's not ideal. But I've got a great network of friends around me and colleagues around me that support me and yeah, tell me when I'm being hard on myself.
One of my friends told me recently that there's a difference between quality time and quantity of
Yeah,
time, and being present.
totally agree.
When did the penny drop on that one with you?
I think I've always valued that quality time with Freddie. That's my little boy.
Because it's
He's
very easy to throw an
Oh yeah,
iPad.
yeah. And there are times where the laptop comes out, Chris, don't get me wrong. But he is big into his sport. So I travel all over the place multiple nights a week, making sure that he's at his football games and his rugby games. And he knows that I'm the biggest champion and the loudest voice on the side of that pitch. So that's very much our quality time. As he's got a little bit older, he's got into cooking. So, you know, Sunday afternoons, it's okay, all devices off. Let's spend some time cooking together before the week starts. And the big thing for me is holidays. So, you know, we like to have our holidays, and he knows he gets my undivided attention when we're on holiday.
How do you switch off on holidays? You just go cold turkey?
No, I mean, I get up before he gets up and do a few hours of work so that he can have my undivided attention. We come back to the plate spinning, and work-life balance. I do what's right for us and our family. And if that means I get up at 5 o'clock to do 3 hours of emails before he gets up, then I feel calm because I've got the work done that I need to do, and then I can give him my attention.
All sounds amazing there, Kirsty. Thank you for that. Could you just summarize that up in probably 30 seconds, a minute, of if you were sat in front of someone saying, and they were beating themselves up about being a single parent and trying to be career-minded as well, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would firstly start by saying be kind to yourself. You're just trying to do your best. So recognize that, take a breath and look at how well you're doing. I'd secondly say make sure you set some boundaries of quality time. And thirdly, I would say maybe tear up the rule book around this work-life balance, because that doesn't necessarily have to mean 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. If it works for you, having a balance that means working outside of those parameters and doing something a little bit different, then do that.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Chris.